And we're live. Welcome back to Neil and Jan Resellers and Sunday show. So we've just been out. Good morning, whoever that is. Hi. So we just.
It's not quite rainy Sunday because
it was wet earlier.
It rained just as we got out the car.
Yeah.
But, it's not too bad, but there's not many boot sales on. So I said, well, Neil said, should we do a show and tell? And it's not enough.
There wasn't much of a show and tell. We'll still show what we got, I think, but
we thought, well, we'll go live and just say hello to anybody who's around who's not at a boot sale.
But the boot sale we did get to was we went to Ardingly and the
South of England
showground.
So it's undercover.
But it's really small, and to be honest, for resellers, I didn't think there was that much there.
I'm just incredibly grateful that they're still doing it. They're going to carry on right through the winter, he said, and that people are actually making the effort to go out and because I didn't buy much, but I bought something. So.
I bought something as well. I mean, it was nice to it was nice to have a boot sale to go to, but
it was nice actually to see some ordinary people selling, not just house clearance people.
Yeah, which was good. So I might as well just. I think we should start it as a little bit of a show and tell, although it's live, just to show some of the bits the bit that I bought and the couple of bits that you bought. I think, well, why not? I mean,
what you forgot?
What's that?
My cup of tea.
I forgot the cup of tea. Don't worry, we'll sort that out in a minute. What I'll do is
it's live. You can't just say talk to yourself.
Well, I can. Absolutely, I can. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you my bit, and then Jan's got two bits. Whilst Jan's showing you her two bits, three bits. I will go and make the tea and coffee.
Actually, I've got 5, but 2 are pairs.
It's cheating, really. I mean, I guess I could break mine down into component bits. Well, let's. I don't even know. I paid £5 for mine, and I don't even know.
Was robbed.
I think I was robbed. I don't know that this. I bought this. They were initially after £30, and I said, "Well, I think the tea." What it actually is, you've got a black and white TV with a radio and a DVD player.
No, a CD player.
A CD player.
No, if it was a DVD player,
not a DVD. No, that would have been what with black and white.
Whatever, but at least you would have been able to watch something on the little screen.
But it's nicely boxed. Well,
it looks pretty much.
It looks pretty much brand new. It's old, but it's like pretty much brand new. It still comes with a polystyrene.
Do you know what that makes me think of?
What?
You know when you're going around the market just before Christmas and there are these blokes selling stuff and they get the crowd all hyped up and then you know, I can't do the impression of it, but you end up buying a load of stuff that you had no intention of buying just because it looks like an incredible bargain, and you get it home and it's cheap stuff.
Anyway, I'm not even going to take it out, but look, it's in there.
Yeah, we did take it out just before we came on, and the CD player bit has still got polystyrene in it where it's never been used.
It's never been used.
It's
the radio
still got
works.
The labels and things on.
The TV does turn on, but obviously, if you had a signal. Now, maybe this could be sold abroad to somewhere where they still have a terrestrial signal that isn't a digital signal, if there is anywhere in the world.
Or if it has a socket for a what do you call it, a DVD player
but the thing is that the TV is actually black and white. It's a black and white TV. It's not even a. So anyway, I'm thinking that even as a radio of that size that's portable, it should be worth a £5.
Well,
saying that,
you sold that camera ages ago, that Olympia camera that I think was the same thing. Somebody stood at a market store with, huge crowd of people around them saying, this would cost £175 million normally, but you can have it. But lady over there. Right, Brian, take one to the lady at the back. You know,
yeah.
I think it was the same store.
That's sarcasm. But anyway, no, it wasn't. They actually hid it. It was hidden, and I said, "Oh, is that a So, but anyway."
Oh, that's cunning sales tactics, isn't it? Hide the rubbish under the table and pretend it's better.
But
if
anyway,
only you could do that on eBay. Perhaps you could do a photo with something in front.
Saying that, I did actually look on eBay, and it looks like one of these actually sold for 200 quid at one point.
What, that brand?
Yeah, this exact model. There was only one of them. Hi to R&J Resellers.
Oh,
great to have you on. Yeah,
well,
so
you never know. For every idiot that's selling one, there's somebody out there buying it. You just don't know. But 200 quid.
Well, at least I didn't pay the 30 quid they were asking.
Yeah.
And I said, well, at least, you know, who's going to be able to operate the TV? I mean, so it was a £5. It's a 6-inch TV, but the CD player and the radio is still going to be worth it as a CD player and a radio.
And providing you've got a big enough side to put it on.
Yeah. It's huge. I mean, look at it. Look at the whole box. It's huge. I mean, well, the
box alone could be valuable. That's a good size box.
I mean, it's a good size box. I could use that. I could pack 5 or 6 other items in that. Anyway, that is the one item that I picked up from the Ardingly, South of England showground this morning. I didn't find anything else that I thought was worth buying to resell.
It was slim pickings.
It was rather slim.
Although,
yes.
I have to say, and you went in before I did. Did you walk ahead of me?
I walked ahead of you. You were looking at a pair of boots on the first stall.
I was going to say the very first item on the very first stall was a pair of boots.
Yeah, I was.
That you walked straight past.
I was still faffing around. I was still faffing around with my gimbal, trying to get the gimbal to work properly with the. Well, not to work properly, but you've got to set it up so it's working. I'm liking the gimbal. I hope you guys like the other film with the gimbal, and there will be more footage of that using the gimbal. If I'm walking around the boots, I know it's using a gimbal.
And the boots I got were a pair of Hunter ladies' boots, really nice condition.
Yeah,
it's got obviously it's got Hunter on the front there. It's got Hunter on.
Is Hunter just one of these really good brands? Is it? What is it?
For wellies, yeah.
For wellies,
and then inside it's got all the Hunter stuff inside and nice condition.
Not too worn, a little bit grubby. Obviously, they're wellies.
Well,
they've been worn.
They have been worn. They're a good size. I think they're a ladies size 7.
Yeah.
So that's a good enough size.
And what did you say you picked them up for?
£5.
£5.
These are selling second-hand on eBay for up to 30.
Up to 30. So that's.
I wouldn't normally have picked
a
up
good 5-6 times the amount you paid. So that's really good. And Echo's just.
And they smell rubbery.
Smell rubbery.
So I hadn't gone out to buy footwear, but it just turns out it was one of those days.
Yeah.
Some days it's just a footwear day, isn't it?
Well, yes. Sometimes it just is. So
that was my
saying that,
first
Jan's
pair.
going to now tell you about the next bit whilst I quickly put the kettle on, and we'll be back right soon.
And then my second pair were a pair of ladies' Nike running shoes. Really nice condition, that the edges aren't worn at all. Heels are good, toes are good, nice and clean. I've got the labels inside and the Nike on the tongue. Again, I wasn't planning to buy anything like this, but £5, I thought, well, why not? And it was a lady there with, she had 4 children with her, and she was telling them to write down what they were saying so they'd know which money was whose. So it wasn't a reseller or anything, a trader. It was somebody clearing out their house. And they tend to be my favourite stalls. I'll just put these up right before the puppy gets them, and they're worth nothing at all. It's not so much that she chooses shoes. She's got a thing for the laces. And then my last little bit was nice little, don't know, the light so bright. I don't know if you can see it properly. It's a garlic pot. It's kind of got garlic written in the ceramic there, and I'm being blinded by the light here as well. He's put it on so light that I can't see anything, but little garlic pot, 50p. So that was nice, and that's all we bought today. So I got 3 things, he got 1. There was I don't even know how many cars were there, probably about a dozen at most. But as I say, I'm incredibly grateful that these people are actually making the effort to go out and do a boot sale, because otherwise we wouldn't have got anything at all. Although Neil was a little bit stressed at the end of it, because he does like to fill a trolley several times over. But anyway, I don't know if any of you have seen our video that we put up yesterday of the tent that we were putting up back in the summer to sell. And I must admit, even though it's our video, I cry with laughter when I watch it. Just thinking, when you just look at it, and like I said in the video, one of the hidden joys of camping is being the nosy neighbour, that you can watch other people struggling to put their tent up in the first place, or you can just get in the coasters for the drinks.
Sorry for being completely unorganised and not having the cup of tea and coffee
ready
for the film.
I was just talking about the joys of camping, in that you can hear and watch what's going on in the next tent.
Yes.
And I must admit, I do take a secret pleasure of watching people put tents up when they don't know what they're doing.
It's funny. It is funny. So, but that's just us. But I was a bit disorganised before we started this. Had a thing flash up. About a year ago, in the cold weather, my little van that I have span out and actually got wedged on this little small road. It's really icy. I just been out on the electric mountain board, and there's a little road just coming to some water, and it was icy. Span out, and it locked the van in between two walls, and it smashed the headlight and the indicator light. And I took it to the garage afterwards, and they said, well, they can't get hold of them. So the only way to get hold of the headlight would be to look out on scrap yards and stuff like that. But I joined the Facebook group, and it's just popped up that someone's scrapping one, and they've just got back to us, and they've actually got the headlight.
What was the Facebook group you joined?
It was actually for camper. It was a lot of people actually convert those ones into camper vans. Oh, right. And occasionally they have ones where people are scrapping them and stuff like that, and people are doing conversions. So it's very much a conversion. But yeah, it actually popped up. I saw a picture of the exact headlight that I was looking for. Just had to ring the guy and get that. So he's going to send it to us, which is brilliant. But it means hopefully soon I might have my van back on the road.
Drive away. I mean,
yeah, it's down in Canterbury, so around the Canterbury area, and we're in Crawley. So it would be a while, and I think for about a £5 to post it down, then it's going to make much more sense. So so hopefully early next year, may get my van back on the road. Excuse me. Which would be really good, obviously, for doing car boot sales and going to get stock and stuff like that, and also for getting our dogs out for a walk in the woods a bit more easier, because Jan's car's getting a bit trashed with the amount of mud that they get this time of year. So, but that was why I was running late on not having the cup of tea and coffee. So yeah. So I hope you guys are doing okay for December.
Yeah, it's gone very slow for us.
It has,
very slow. You know, we did go to the same boot sale. Was it last week or the week before? I've lost count now.
Yeah. I mean, I picked up some leather trousers, which actually I wore today. I wore a pair of the weather. It was nice and warm out in the cold. But
yeah, at least it wasn't as cold today. Last one we went to, it was so cold that
it took you hours to warm up.
Probably didn't warm up until the next day. You know, I'm certainly frozen still at night. So today's one, I went like, I was looking like the Michelin Man. I had so many. I had a thick fleece on, then I had a jacket on top of that, and then a coat on top of that, and 2 pairs of trousers. Because the thing is, because I'm slow because of my disabilities, and I'm old, I lose heat very, very quickly, and I don't rush around fast enough to warm up enough. So so I need to layer up and things. And I thought perhaps ski trousers are a little bit not there yet, but if it was snowing, I would have done. Yeah,
definitely. And partly for me, what I'm thinking, today I've picked up one item, and one of the big concerns for me at the moment is picking up stock, and one of the things that I want to try and achieve is I'm looking to get to a point where I can list 10 items a day every single day to get that consistency. And from what I hear with eBay, if you want consistent sales, then you need to be listing consistently every day. And to actually obviously, if I'm trying to get to a point where I list 10 items every day, that means that I need to be finding the equivalent to 70 items a week. And 70 items a week is no small feat, really, to try and work out how you're gonna get 70 items a week. Is I mean, at the moment, over the summer, I picked up lots of bits of jewellery, which I've still got quite a lot.
Suitcases full.
As in suitcases full, but I don't want to be putting a whole load of rubbish stuff on my shop. So that there are some bits of it that, they're all right to list. But
to be fair, the boots sale had loads of toys, but neither of us tend to buy toys at all.
I mean, there were
because there were private sales there. There were loads and loads of toys. If only we knew what we were.
Well, there was a couple of tables that had two. I mean, when you watch the walk round, you'll see that there was a couple of tables that had lots of Nerf guns. Now, if I knew anything about Nerf guns, I might have been absolutely fine.
And the thing that always puts me off that sort of thing is they're so big. They take up so much space. There was one stall that had a lot of boxed games.
Yep.
Used ones. Well, I wouldn't know if it had all the bits.
All the bits in it, yep.
But it just takes up so much space, and we've just pretty much run out of space completely, haven't we?
Yeah, I mean, that, as you say, that is a thing. It's like at the moment, I keep going back to this whole idea of, having I'm looking at having a consistent listing of 10 items a day, and to build a list bank where you've got at least a couple of days worth pre-done, so that if anything happens health-wise or whatever, for any other emergency reason that you can't do your listing, so that it gets to be an always having consistent 10 items. And at the moment, I've got jewellery and I've also got some electrical cables. And I guess DVDs and stuff like that would be, but these are really low kind of price items. They're not very good kind of price items.
And then I'm just thinking about Mel in Australia, back from burnout. She's doing a fantastic eBay business with secondhand books.
Yeah.
But it has taken over so much space. I mean, she completely filled her house. Then she moved into storage units.
Right. Yeah.
And she had a whole row of storage units that she was using, and now they've converted the garage and the shed into a beautiful eBay storage for her.
Yeah.
But it does take an enormous amount of
It's
space.
Yeah. I mean,
we just don't have. We've got no garden left to build anything.
No. And it's trying to work out.
Out there already, so we've got.
I mean, what can you? It's trying to work out what can we
stamps
do.
People used to collect
stamps. Oh, that was boring me so much. But yeah, I mean, I guess jewellery or something. But I mean, I've got jewelry, but it's like you'd have to start doing like silver and gold and actually start doing some jewelry with some value.
I have actually noticed that the good stuff is starting to come up for sale again. Very much like in 2008 when we had the recession. That's when I started buying and selling a lot of diamond and gold jewelry.
Yeah.
And made quite a lot of money at the time. But it was at that time where the pinch was really cutting, and then that's when people think, well, what have I got that I can sell?
Yeah.
Because I need a lot of money fast, and that's when they sell their jewellery.
Yeah.
And that is beginning to creep back into the market, but you've got to know what you're going for with that.
I mean, it hasn't got. I mean, obviously, if you're doing that, you know, there could be hundreds to be made, or more. But I mean, what I want to try and do is try and get my.
And also the other thing, the difference between now and then was, in the intervening years, white gold took over in fashion from yellow gold.
Yeah.
Which means that white gold is plated. It's rhodium plated gold. Right. Which means that every few years you need to have it replated to keep it looking top notch. And also the actual fashion of diamond engagement rings and things have gone from having a single stone or 2 or 3 stones, so you get, you know, up to a carat or a carat and a half solitaire, to having a pave of, like my ring, I don't even know if you can see that at the moment, that's a pave, so that's, what's that, a dozen, or I don't even know how many diamonds is in there.
Let's do a close-up. Close-up coming in.
But
I can get to it there.
This sort of thing, I mean, that set is it's 2 rings, a wedding and engagement ring. I would only ever buy that if it came with the original receipt, so you know exactly what it is, because otherwise you're talking about a 1/5 of a carat diamond, almost chips.
Yeah.
And then, you know, you've got no way as a private person of checking to see that you've got the value of diamonds that they're going to tell you, because they'll tell you it's 2 or 3 carats worth when it possibly isn't. Whereas the golden diamonds that I used to buy were the yellow gold, always 18 carat gold, because that's a better
solitaire,
gold.
spinning single.
And then I would, I was always looking for anything over 1/2 a carat. So I'd buy it if it was 1/2 a carat, if it was a trilogy of diamonds, but it had to come to, even with the trilogy, it would have to go up to 3/4 of a carat.
Yeah.
And then I was buying, you know, like I bought one, was like a daisy one that had lots of diamonds in it, but altogether that came to 1.5 carats. And I think I bought that for about 450 and then sold it for 1,500 in the end. But you know, you kind of got to know your market, and as I say, that the jewelry has changed in fashion to an extent where I don't actually know what I'm looking for in the way that I used to. But I do want to keep on the lookout for.
But obviously, if you started doing that kind of thing, then obviously you're talking about, you know, you could have a little bag, a pouch of loads of ring. You know, we're talking about small. But
then also, if you're going to do that, then you'd want to get things like a diamond tester, so that you know that what you got is a genuine diamond. I never actually bothered having a gold tester, because if it's a genuine diamond, they're not going to put it in
fake gold
or a lower carat than you've got the hallmarks on it anyway, which will tell you. You need a jeweller's loop and your diamond tester and an eye for what's going on, and kind of keeping an eye out on the platforms where they might be selling it, and as much as possible saying, can I come and see it before I hand over the cash?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm just thinking that I want to try and get to whatever I'm going to be buying needs to have. I mean, obviously, I want to try and keep what I'm buying to under £5, and then I want to be trying to be making at least £20 profit on each item. is the ideal. I mean, if you, like at the moment, if I list a whole load of DVDs, you'd be lucky to make £1 or £2 on a DVD,
Well,
even
I
if
mean,
it's
I've
a
got
select
a
one.
load of
That's,
VHS that
yeah,
I'm selling through that were actually given to me, and there was one that's just gone out this week that I listed. It was just kind of a make-weight type thing. I even questioned whether it was worth listing it. It was a space traveller's guide to the Earth or something. It was an educational thing.
yeah.
But because the amount that it cost, because it's in a hard case, the amount that it cost to post it, because it won't go through on a large letter.
On a large letter, yeah, it's got to go.
In the end, I think they made me an offer of £2, but it was up at free postage. And I said, well, I can't post it to you for that. I said, you cover the postage and you can have it for £3.
Yeah.
So I didn't make a penny on that.
Plus, it would have.
Well, actually, I lost money because I
eBay,
used an envelope.
You've used an envelope and you've got eBay fees on it. And it's the same. It's the same. I had one. Somebody offered me £1.30 for a Wii game, and it's like, I can't post it for that. So it's all well and good if I want to be trying to list 10 items a day. It would be pretty easy to go out and buy a whole load of NAF DVDs and stick them up. I can easily post 10 a day. I can post 10 an hour. But with DVDs, I could probably do 10 an hour, maybe more. But they're not worth anything. They're not. It's not really. I need to find in the next few months. I need to be sorting out. I do love going to car boot sales, but if I want to take my business to a next level from where I am, I think we're doing okay. But from where we are now, if we want to move it up, then I really want to be able to list 10 items every day, every single day, and have a list bank of them. I've got to try and work out where to get stock from. Hi, Oliver. Great to have you on here today.
Hi, Oliver.
We've got, who's that?
Vivian.
Hi, Vivian.
A carload of very sellable stuff, electrical bric-a-brac, new box shoes, beautiful ladies' fleeces, and loads more, which you could come and see. I'm in Upfield, East Sussex.
That's cool. We'll message you about that at some point. See what kind of. So the thing is, I'm. It's very much about not only having the stuff. It's whether I can get it for an amount that there is enough profit for us to resell for.
Thank you very much.
But we really appreciate the offer, and we'll message you privately about that. That's really cool. But yeah, that is one of the things. It's also.
But I was going to say the other problem that we have doing this channel is without buying and getting stuff and having stuff to sell.
Yeah.
It kind of limits our content, doesn't it? We did put out the video that I've taken way back. I think it was about April or May. I took that video of where we were putting a tent up to take photos to sell it. And
yeah.
I thought it was funny, so it made a good enough film to put out on. And somebody did actually comment that it was the best laugh they'd had in a long time.
It is funny.
And, we do actually have another tent that got in the garage that never even taken out of the bag, cost me over 300 quid. It's a 20-man tent. And I was thinking perhaps we should just sell tickets to just putting that one up because it was...
let's show this one. I had 700 new sealed DVDs.
Such waste of time.
Waste of time.
See any music cassettes, they're so cheap to pick up, great storage and sell really well on eBay. Oh, that's good to know. But
yeah.
don't really see cassettes very much, do we? But perhaps we're just not looking properly. What I'd really like to know, if any of you can point us in the right direction, is do any of you use auction houses?
Yeah.
Because like Faye and Simon, now calling their channel Married to Reselling, they do a fantastic trade in things that they pick up from auction houses.
Auction houses, yeah.
And that's something that I'd like to explore looking at.
Yeah, I think I would. I mean, the when we first started, we got some really cheap DVDs. We got
that was just off Marketplace.
It's just off Marketplace, and it was like 10, 15 quid, I think. And we got like 300 or 400 DVDs, and that was great because I wasn't too worried about. I wasn't too worried about making a profit to start with. It was a case of I had a brand new account. I had no feedback.
Yeah, you just needed to get feedback.
I just needed to get some feedback, and to get the ball rolling, which it did. You know, we got some sales on things, and then we picked up some more bits, and obviously out of those DVDs, there were a couple of good ones that sold for a reasonable amount, which enabled us to buy some more things, and it just kind of escalated from there. Obviously, you know, when you get a huge
done really
bunch,
well actually, turning that initial £15 into a business.
Well,
you?
yeah, I mean, eBay says that I've got just under £5,000 worth of stock. So we have escalated it quite nicely. Hello.
But I think it's just that feeling of panic going to boot sales every week and filling up 2 or 3 trolley loads. And,
yes, so coming to the autumn into the winter.
And then going to boot sale this morning and coming away with one thing. Did you get anything at the last boot sale?
The trousers, which I...
oh yeah, you got two pairs of leather trousers.
2 pairs of leather trousers. Initially, I thought I'd buy them. I actually got them for £9 each. It was £18 for the 2. And then I got them home and found out that they fit me.
So no more reselling for those.
So no more reselling for those. I wore a pair out today. It was nice and warm.
Actually, that seems to be a theme with you, doesn't it? You know, we buy shoes and oh no, they fit you and they look nice today. You can keep them. And,
yeah.
And that jacket that you've been wearing.
The jacket I was wearing.
He's got this really nice jacket that was it was one of these everything's free at the end of the boot sale back in the summer, and it's a really nice Marks and Spencer sheepskin jacket.
Yeah.
But the problem is, now that we're going to winter boot sales, he's not wearing his yellow hat anymore. He's wearing a beanie type hat.
Yeah.
And other blokes will wear the same sort of coat and hat. And, you know, I'll tell you what, you're lucky you kept me coming home with you. I'd gone drop it then. It's very hard to tell who I'm married to now at boot sales. I need some sort of sign on you or...
Well, the fact that I'm walking around with a gimbal and a camera, kind of. But the
yeah, if you've watched any of the footage with the gimbal, do you notice any difference? Is it better? Because
yeah,
I've got the GoPro Hero 8, which I just use on a chest harness now, and from taking the dogs out the other day, where I was, because my balance is bad, I was staggering, but it doesn't actually show that on the footage. So I'm wondering if mine's just naturally.
I don't know. But anyway, so yeah, so it there is this whole thing of, I mean, I think I've mentioned this before. So I'm watching a guy called Chris. His YouTube channel is Daily Refinement. And he's over in, I think it's California. It's over in America. But he has quite a big group and they do a lot of mentorship stuff. And it's all about trying to improve other people's eBay businesses, help them streamline things, help them try and work out how to be more profitable, how to have a better business. And just one of the things that it seems to be obviously about trying to list consistently all the time, so that the algorithm looks and thinks this person does this amount of listing a day, therefore they send you a certain amount of impressions, and you can kind of work out how you will not. It's not about one day I earn 150 quid and the other day I earn 25 quid. It's about trying to get more consistency on what you're earning. And I've been watching a lot of his stuff, and so for me, it's all about trying to get a consistent amount of stuff that I can list. And I say I'm trying to get to a point where I can list 10 a day, which is not a huge amount, but when you add it up over a week, it's 70 items a week to get to.
And it's been really important to you to have a bank of things that are listed, ready to go.
Yes.
What do you call
yeah.
them?
A list bank.
A list bank, yeah. What is banking it? Yeah, because you have had days when you haven't been. Well, we had one day during the week when one of the dogs was ill. We were going to go to the Ford boot sale down at Ford.
Yeah.
And we couldn't because we had to go to the vets. But it did mean that you still had stuff that were ready that you could just.
Yeah, that was already on. And literally, what I'm actually doing at the moment is now apparently if you keep stuff in your draft bank, as a draft, apparently they can disappear and things can blur and stuff, so that you can miss out pictures and stuff can go wrong apparently in draft. But apparently it's a bit more consistent if you put it in scheduled. So what I've been doing is scheduling stuff for like 2 weeks time, and then I'm using the stuff that's due to finish last, and all you do is you go back into your scheduled, and instead of having a scheduled, you just end it at that point. So for example, if I've got 20 or 40 items or more that are in scheduled, first thing in the morning, 8 o'clock in the morning, I can go down and get 10 of those items and end them now, and they straight away you've got 10 items, and that's your day done. If that's your daily target.
And the other thing that we've both had issues with this week is eBay not allowing us to log in. We've both had that, and Neil actually phoned up and spoke to eBay, and they said it was something to do with his cash until they found out it was happening on my completely independent account and computer as well. And at that point he said, oh yeah, some other people have been saying the same thing. So
it's been coming up as I go to log in, and you put, obviously you've got your email and then your password, and you press it, it says email is experiencing a problem, please come back later. And yet
then I was
you're doing it hourly to try and check it, and for whole days it's been out and haven't been.
Yeah, and then when I did get into my account and I was trying to list just one item, I'm selling a filing cabinet, and I just couldn't get it to take the listing. Every time I went through it, it was dropping all the photos, so I'd upload all the photos and they're all gone. Then I'd try it on my phone because maybe it was the computer, and I don't know if anybody else has been having problems like that. But
yeah, if you can drop some comments down if anyone's been experiencing any problems with eBay over the last week or so with that, but that's been quite a problem. Luckily, I've still been able to get on using my iPad, but then I find that the iPad is very different to using things. I normally actually use my iPad for taking the photos of the items, and then I go in and finish the item on the desktop, which is what I'm kind of doing. But it just means that I haven't seen that on the app that you can go in. I want to keep an eye on how many impressions I'm getting and stuff like that. There's a whole load of the statistical stuff I want to keep an eye on, make sure that I'm getting information, and you just don't get that on the app.
okay.
I did hear, however, that some people are logging in on a mobile device, but they're, instead of using the app, they're actually going in through a browser, and then apparently you can still get all the same stuff, but it's much harder to see it all on a very small screen compared to like a main desktop. But that's quite I'm just trying to constantly improve what we're doing and look at we've got to a certain level at the moment, and we want to build on it in the new year, and it's and from now, and it's just trying to constantly look and see how can we improve, as in how can we improve the how we resource our stuff and where we resource our stuff from. Also, the way we're listing stories, the whole works. It all needs to be constantly looked at to see, is there a better way that we can do it to improve our reselling. I think that's quite an important thing to until we get to a level that we're happy with, that will actually bring us a full-time wage. We need to keep improving and doing what we can to bring about that. There's some people, who aren't interested in it. It's a bit of fun. It's a hobby. That's absolutely great. But for me personally, I need to be bringing this up to be a full-time income thing. Although it's very enjoyable doing it, it's still it's not just a hobby for me. And I do need to try and do it as a full-time business, which is very different. If there are those of you that are watching who are just doing it as a hobby, and it's just nice to go out and know that you've got a bargain and that you've managed to sell it for a profit, I think that's brilliant. But it's very different when you want to use that money to pay the bills, and you want to have that consistently, not just for a month but throughout the year, including when it gets to the winter and there's no car boot sales. We still want to be able to pay bills and things like that. So it's really interesting trying to work out these trials of how to consistently get things all the way through the year, and where to pick stuff up. I think the car boot sales are great.
We're still very much newbies, aren't we?
Yeah.
I mean, this is our first winter coming into it, so it's going to be interesting to see how we go through the winter. I mean, Neil does it a lot more than I do. I'm more of the hobby seller really than.
But it's still good. But as I say, I was on. When I spoke to eBay a couple of days ago about this dropping out and stuff, I said, "Yeah, you've only been doing it for 8 months." So I think for eight months it is pretty good. And for me personally, I know when I was training to be a heating engineer and a plumber, just to be a basic plumber takes 3 years of college. So in whatever you're gonna do, it takes putting hours in of learning and researching and stuff to learn to be. I mean, the lucky thing with us is that you can actually earn as you learn, and making some of those mistakes, which I don't think we've made many mistakes in. I don't think there's too many items that I can say, oh, I bought that and that was a complete waste of money. There is one, however. You may remember back to I bought a Reebok. It was a balance board, Reebok balance board. I bought for £5. I didn't realise that it was actually had some bits that were broken underneath, and I actually took that to the tip. Just got that one of the dogs out. Yeah, I actually took that to the tip about a week or so ago, a couple of weeks ago. That was a mistake.
Yeah, because did you put it on Marketplace?
I put it on Marketplace.
It was
just too big to post.
Before we even realised it was broken, he'd listed it on Marketplace, and there was zero interest. Yeah,
there was absolutely no interest whatsoever. So I only spent £5. I thought it looked really good. I thought it was going to be worth about £100 or something. And
I was going to say, one thing that I'm a bit concerned about at the moment is a parcel that I sent out. Fortunately, it had tracking on it, so I've been just checking on it to see if it got there safely, because it was glass dishes.
Yeah.
And it's like final delivery attempt, and so I don't know what happens after that. You know, they tried to deliver it 3 times. I think it went Packlink or something. Was it the eBay one? But I think Hermes had done it. But
so we don't know what actually happens at that point.
I mean, I've got a feeling that it's returned to sender.
Return to sender, yeah.
But I don't know. I just feel very uncomfortable about it. You know, the customer hasn't contacted me and say it hasn't turned up.
Yeah.
Presumably, if they went to her house and she wasn't there, they would have stuck a card through the door saying, and she should have known that there was a parcel on its way.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Well, I had a similar one. I'm not that one. I had there was a I used to be. It was a Casio black and white TV, little small
Another
pocket TV.
There's no signal.
Yeah, there's no signal.
Pick up TVs at boot sales.
Well, because I kind of thought that someone might actually buy it. I mean, I think I paid £1 for it, and somebody paid £9 for it. So that was reasonable. The only thing is that, again, it was a case of
Neil,
that. Oh, hang on, back in a sec. You took care of all this.
Well, you can carry on talking. You're only opening the door. No, let her in, please. She's picking up stuff and eating it that she shouldn't be.
Sorry, we have dogs, so we have to let them out because they kind of like it occasionally. So, so there was this Casio small pocket TV, and again that was presented a couple of times, and then it was brought back.
Oh, so yours did come
back? Mine
back?
did actually come back, and I just don't know.
And what did your customer say?
I contacted the customer, and the customer hasn't got back to me. So it's just sat here, and technically they own it, they've bought it, but it's sat here waiting for, I don't know. So I can't, I don't know. Do I
think sometimes people buy things and then forget all about it.
Yeah.
If it doesn't arrive, they just forget about it.
But if you message them and then they don't message you back about it, it's like, what do you do? Mm. And the thing is, if you say, well, okay, well, I'll send it out again. Well, it didn't get delivered the first time. And it is then going to start.
And also, why would you pay they would then have to give you money to post it again.
Yeah.
Once you post it once, you can't just keep posting it out at your expense, can you?
But then you don't want bad feedback. So, you don't want bad feedback from somebody saying, well, they never delivered it. They never posted it. Well, we did post it. So it's hard. What do you guys do? Have you guys experienced anything like that? It'd be really great to...
It's the first time it's ever happened to me that somebody's not been there to take the parcel.
Yeah. So
I got very nervous when I had a parcel going over to America, and that seemed to take forever to get there.
Yeah.
But they did eventually get it, and they left good feedback, so...
Yeah. And it's like, I had, there was a camera that I sent out, it was about £100. And I've had no feedback to say, oh, yeah, it's a great camera or anything. So within 30 days, they can send it, they can send it, if they decide at some point to say, oh, it's broken or whatever, I'm still, what do you guys do about expensive stuff and the whole thing of, well, what if it could come back within 30 days? Just because they decide that they don't want it. I did originally, when I started, I had my settings on don't accept returns. But then I found that
eBay make
you to take it back anyway. Even if it's right, the person has only got to say that there's a defect, and then eBay make you take it back. So I thought that it would be better to have a 30-day return policy, and so I've tried the 30-day return policy, thinking that the eBay algorithm might look more favourably with that and send more traffic, which it turns out they haven't.
I don't have an eBay shop. Mine's still just a private account, and I've got it on no returns. But so far, nobody's said anything about. Nobody's wanted to return anything. So. But
the interesting thing that I found, I thought, well, actually, maybe I'm not turning over enough stuff to actually warrant putting a 30-day return on it. So when I went back into the seller hub to turn it back, to change it, there is no option to change it. Once you've put it on, you can't take it off from by the looks of it.
Although if you phone them up,
possibly if you phone them up, but certainly it was easy enough to put on, but certainly not easy enough to just take off again. So that was interesting.
And I was going to ask Ray, how you're getting on with your labelling machine? If Ray's still there. I'm still humming and hawing about getting one, but you know, so far we've managed all right with the printer, haven't we?
We have managed all right with the printer, but as I say, we're starting to get more, and it's kind of, well, I'm going to start buying some more labels or decide to get one of those printers.
And then Tina's saying what annoys her is when you accept a return, then they don't return the item. Yeah, that would be really annoying. And the thing is, and I've actually got one of those at the moment. I had a pair of climbing shoes that I bought. I think I bought them for about £4. And I think I sold for about £16, something like that. They're supposed to be size 9, and I've put measurements on them, but they still seem to be coming back small. But climbing boots are designed to be that much tighter exactly.
fit.
You've got to have them on really tightly, because if you're climbing up a rock face, you don't want them slipping
around. Yeah.
And I think that they're coming back too small because they're inexperienced climbers that just don't realise how tight they're supposed to be.
It could,
you know, because it says on them what size it is, so that's the size that they were sold originally.
But that's the second. Well, the request to send them back, they haven't actually come back yet, but that will be the second time that they've come back, and I'm thinking about probably not relisting them. Because if you've got an item, and this is a bit, I'd like to know what you guys think, but if you've got an item where it's come back twice already, every time something comes back, it's going to go against you on the algorithm, I'm pretty sure.
Or otherwise, just list it saying it's sized by the manufacturer as this size. It is supposed to be very tight because you're going to be using it to climb in.
But as they're just shoes, and people go, you know, shoes do have slightly different styles. I'm just thinking that do I want the same item to have come back 3 times, or after the second time do I go, actually, it's got to be sold somewhere else. I don't want it affecting my how it is on the algorithm. I just looked at myself on the screen. I look a real miserable front. I'm sitting here with my arms folded and a real face. Be happier then.
Well, normally I sit closer to the table, so I lean on the table. But you know, it's like, well, where do you put your arms when you're not
all army? Find somewhere to put your arm. Echo will find somewhere to put your arms.
I should just chew fingers, but
yeah,
know, I'm always saying about you and looking miserable.
Oh, I'm a miserable.
And sometimes your face just settles into a miserable look. Sorry about that. Sorry, I've got my ugly face on.
Jen's got her ugly face on today, everybody.
Yeah, I wear it.
What face are you wearing today? Oh, Echo says she's wearing a chewing my jacket face. Yeah, so
yeah, but one of our trolls on another video said it's supposed to be a reselling and not about the dogs. And
yeah,
the dogs do feature in the videos because they live here too.
Yes, we have 4 and we love them.
It amazes me, you know, if you're watching our YouTube video and you don't like it, watch something else.
Yeah, we've got 9 people and now suddenly they've all gone because we've just told them,
no.
Actually, if you don't like dogs, bugger off. But no.
It just gets me the way, you know, I mean, that awful guy that used to leave all the awful comments, it's like, well, if you don't like what we do, why are you watching?
Well, maybe he's our favourite channel to be horrible to.
Well, I mean, who was it? I don't know if it was Rich from Night's Life the other day saying about trolls, and you know, if I'm not sure if it was him or somebody else who'd said it, that you know, they are coming from a point of pain. You know, they wouldn't be saying nasty things about you if they didn't feel awful.
Well, you know what?
I get that. I do understand that, but
you know why they feel awful? Because trolls live under bridges in dirt. the dirty, damp kind of places with a bit of water running past.
We're talking as though we've got a load of trolls. We've only had 2 or 3.
I know.
And I've quite celebrated the fact that we got 1 or 2.
Absolutely. When we got our first troll, that was a turning point for us.
Achievement, wasn't it? It's almost as though we paid somebody to do it.
Yeah.
But it's just, the way that some people feel they have a right to comment on, the fact that we've got the dogs who are our family in our lounge with us, that. And I think it was, I don't know if it was that one or another who'd said about our furniture belonging on a tip. And actually, it's a very expensive sofa. And it's incredibly comfortable. So no, it's not.
It is incredibly comfortable because I have to sleep on it quite regularly. When I'm ill, basically, when I'm feeling ill, I don't have a lot of energy, and I can sleep upstairs for 8 hours and come back down here and sleep for another 8 downstairs because I don't have the energy to stay awake. But yeah, Tina's just saying, can't you block people?
I think we did that one, didn't we?
I think you can.
But it just amazes me, Tina, that they would if they're
why watch? Why spend time watching if you're not happy watching it?
Because I watch YouTube all the time, but if I find something that I'm not enjoying, then I just go somewhere else. These days entertainment is a very sort of instant thing, isn't it? Yeah. Even films, whereas in the old days I would watch the whole film. Now 5 minutes in, if I think, nah, it's not me,
I did that.
I'll bin it off and watch something else.
Last night, the night before, I was watching. I forget what the film was. I was watching a film, and it was a case of, you know what? I've had enough. I'm going to select another film. And I was like half an hour in, and it's like, no, that's not for me. I don't need to see the ending of this. I'm going to go and find another film.
Even if I am enjoying it, I've normally got a film on the telly or something, and I've always got this in my hand, and I'm watching something else or talking to somebody else at the same time.
Yeah, you don't watch things properly, do you, really?
Well, I've always had the sort of mind that's flitting off all over the place. And even before we had all the electronic gadgets, I used to have the TV on, and I'd also put a record on because I like that in the background, and read a book at the same time.
Mad.
It's just the way my mind works, You're always talking about you and your brain, but mine does too many things at the same time.
Too many things at once. Did. Yeah. So we've got a few people on at the moment. Has anyone been resourcing this week? And what's your favourite thing that you picked up this week?
Tina's saying that she loves the fur babies and a couple herself.
Excellent. What have you got, Tina?
Oh, what are their names?
Yes.
Right. We've got Bear's asleep on the floor, so I can't show you him. Echo, who's doing the biting game at the moment with Chester. Echo's our chocolate Labrador puppy. I was going to say, if I move my chair, you might be able to see them better.
And then we've got...
Echo's about 8 months old.
Actually, I'm going to do a camera
It
thing.
looks as though they're fighting when they play the biting game. They're not.
We have Bear down here.
That's actually play.
That's Bear.
He's a Greek mountain dog.
Okay.
Then he was abandoned. Well, we don't know if they actually abandoned him in the olive grove or if that's just where he was found, but he was actually in the olive grove for about a week before he was rescued. And then
this one's Reckless. The one next to him there is Chester.
He's another Greek rescue.
And then Echo is there. There's little Echo. Most of you know Echo.
And that damage to the wallpaper behind Echo was puppy damage.
So anyway, and any of you who don't like dogs, you can just skip that bit. If you're watching it on recording, then
yeah, if you're watching it on a mobile phone or something, you don't like that bit, just double tap it and it skips forward 10 seconds.
Yeah. If you're watching it live, it's tough. You're here. Anyway, back to the other stuff. But that's the dogs.
It would be lovely. I've often thought this summer if we could have taken Echo to the boot sale, but
yeah,
I don't trust her not to help herself to all of the toys
on
the ground.
All of the toys,
And last week's one at Ardingly, there was a dog showing at the South of England showground as well.
Yeah.
And all the people from the dog show were bringing their dogs over. And there was one dog running around with a teddy, and I thought, I don't know if you paid for that.
Yeah.
Or if it was given to you.
Was that given to you? Oh, we have. Here we go. I have 2 Jack Russells.
Summer and Tiny. Oh, I love Summer as a name. That's a lovely name.
Very
Tiny's poorly, just getting over bronchitis.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, Reckless is poorly at the moment. He's out.
Echo's lunchtime.
Yeah, it's the alarm for Echo's lunch.
Yeah, Reckless. He was being sick, and he was doing lots of drooling, and
but he's been to the vet.
And he's having tablets, and he's just having smaller meals at the moment and a bit blander, so that they're. But he's doing good.
And I don't know what the weather's like for everybody there, but I'm still in touch with Echo's breeder, where we got Echo from. They're actually a farm. It's not a puppy farm. They're a rare breed farm, but they also breed Labradors. And they've had so much snow. I've been looking at all their photos of all the cows out in the snow. It's been lovely. I hope everybody's staying warm this weekend. Down south, it's quite warm still. We've had rain, and we had just a scattering of snow one day, didn't we? We did. Just a tiny bit of snow. But I'm
just going to let the dogs out there for a sec. Tina, love to know what was the car boot sale that you went to today? What area are you in, and where was your car boot sale? It's brilliant that you managed to get out this morning.
Yeah, because the south of England one is the only one that we know near us that's still going at the
moment. We've got the Brighton one as well, haven't we?
Yeah, it's not really near us though, is it? It's still quite a drive to get there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tina, I'm really glad he's on the mend too. Just that one visit to the vet cost £120.
Yeah.
And that was cheaper than it would have been, because she said that she's going to give him some tablets, some omeprazole tablets for his stomach. And I said, are they the same as human ones? Because I was prescribed them ages ago and didn't take them because I didn't have the problem that they were prescribed for. Don't know why on earth the doctors gave them to me in the first place. And she said, yeah, they're fine. So, she's in Cheddar, Somerset.
Oh, nice.
So I was able to give him my tablets under vet supervision because they were the same as she would have prescribed for him. But I reckon that would have been, Echo, you've left the gate out and she's shooting upstairs. I reckon those tablets alone would have probably cost 25 to 30 quid. So always worth it if you go to the vet saying, they're the same as the human ones. I've got those at home.
Yeah.
If you have.
Yeah. Somerset, very cold. Yeah. Cheddar, I know you got Cheddar Gorge around there.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, we like Cheddar Gorge.
And the caves there as well.
The caves,
caves around that area.
Yeah. Yeah, so I like that area. That's nice. What's that? The reason I can't sell. What's that?
Vivian's had major surgery.
She
needs a space.
Right. Yeah.
Well, I hope you're feeling much better. I've had a few big operations myself, so I know that it's not pleasant to go through, and the recovery can be hard work as well. Although I have to say that I've had double knee replacement, and having had the second one, I expected a lot more help from Neil and my son, but it's actually been beneficial to me that they didn't help more than they did, because it meant that I had to get on and do things myself, and probably been beneficial for me in the long run. I was just seeing a phone number there.
Yeah. I've just put a phone number up there for Vivian in the chat to see. She'd like to give us a ring at some point. We'll have a chat about her stuff and what she's kind of looking to get for it, and see if it's right. And maybe we can work something out. And but yeah, give us a chat after the live, or whenever you're ready, and we'll have a chat about that. That's brilliant. But yeah, I'm sorry to hear that you've just had major surgery, and I hope you're on the mend well. So
yes, I use pet drugs online if I get a prescription.
Yeah.
But it's also worth asking if they're on human drugs, because I know the cat was on the same heart tablets that I was on, Bear's been prescribed the same painkillers that I'm on.
Yeah.
And now Reckless has had the same stomach tablets that I didn't take. So
You
it's
didn't take.
because a lot of veterinary treatment uses human medicines.
Yeah, well, it's still, even if it's just in lesser quantities and stuff.
But I know when Bear had a Pseudomonas infection in his paw. I just used to call it poorly paw, and in the end he had to be on a certain antibiotic that if you got them from the vets, it was going to cost £6 a day for 6 months.
Yeah.
But using prescriptions and pet drugs online, I actually saved thousands.
You got it down to £2, didn't you, or something?
Yeah,
like that?
£2 a day. I think
£2 a day instead of £6 a day. Big difference. Big difference.
And always, if we're getting something like Metacam, I always ask for a prescription, and I always ask for the biggest size that they possibly do, so that we've got some in reserve. But having said that, now we've gone over onto talking about dogs, which I didn't intend to do. No. But some people aren't interested in dogs.
Yes. But there's still bargains to be had of buying stuff online sometimes. So might be worth calling the vet next time.
Well, absolutely. And do you know what? To be quite honest, I actually trust vets, but more than I trust a lot of doctors. And when we first had our other Labrador, the one that we lost last year, and Reckless, when they were babies, the vet that we took her to in Crawley was the most wonderful vet that you could have ever gone to. First time I took Darcy in, she had a little bit of conjunctivitis, and I thought, oh God, this is going to cost me. And Moira just said, builder's tea, make it really strong, no milk, no sugar, and bathe it. And I thought, you know what, I like you, because I always prefer to go down a natural route. But Moira turned out to be the best vet that you could possibly get, and she turned into a friend, and then sadly died of cancer last year. And I'm absolutely heartbroken to lose her. Yeah, she'd moved away, so she hasn't been our actual vet for a long time, but she kept an eye on the dogs on Facebook, and she used to say, oh, Bear's put on a bit of weight, or you know, is Reckless all right with this or that or the other.
So that was such a shame.
She was absolutely a wonderful vet, and now all our vets in the area have got all the little private vets have all been bought out by Medivet, and they're this big company.
Yeah, it seems a bit odd that well, not odd, but it's such a shame that there's no independent vets and stuff, and that they're just getting bought out by a large company. So you know, because obviously, if you don't like one, it's not like you can go and get a second opinion from someone else. It's just all becoming one company. So there's really little point, which is such a shame. It's nice to have have the opportunity to go to somewhere else if you're not happy.
And you know, when we were going to see Moira, having a vet that was our vet who knew our dogs, whereas now you don't know who you're going to get, so you've got no kind of continuity of care. Although nowadays, when I go in and take any of them into the vet, I've got a list of what happened on every day, so that, and photographs of wounds, or just so that if it's a different vet, they've got a little bit more. Upfield is 8 miles from Lewis, and you could bring the dogs if you wanted to see. We're on the edge of it. I do know Upfield, yeah.
We used to have some friends that used to live in Upfield. Well, it was actually Maresfield, not Uckfield. But I actually many years ago, when I was plumbing, actually used to work for a company called Paynes. And they actually were based in Uckfield, so I actually used to work in and around Uckfield, so I know it quite well.
And we know the forest quite well.
Yeah, so I used to go down there quite a lot. So yeah, no, that's cool. So saying that, we've now just coming up to an hour and 10 minutes, so I think we should normally kind of
and my son cooked us some pizza just before we started.
Now it's cold, so
well, I say it's cold on the side. If that kitchen door's open, I just seem just to go in the kitchen.
Oh, I better go and check. Well, let's end this first.
There may not be any pizza left.
The pizza may have gone. Anyway, it's been great having a chat with you guys. JR Reselling, hi, good morning. Saying that we're just about to say goodbye because we've just been on for an hour and 10 minutes.
Chester.
But it's been... He hasn't
Chester.
eaten any. No, he's fine. Anyway. So anyway, it's been great having you on here today, guys.
And I hope we haven't bored you with Dr. Chat.
There is going to be a film of going around the boot sale this morning. I'm just going to need to edit it up. It's probably going to be
quite a short film, although there's double the amount of footage because now I'm filming as well as Neil.
But it's me and Jan walking around the same stuff with 2 different cameras. So, but we'll be looking at different things in a different way. And we'll do a voiceover of it as well, I'm sure. So, anyway, that'll probably be up tomorrow, I would imagine. Give us a chance to...
And like I say, anyone who was on earlier on, the show and tell was kind of at the beginning of this, and I bought 3 things, Neil bought 1.
Yeah, it was very, very slim pickings, but at least we got out there. We tried to bring you some content. So anyway, it's been lovely chatting with you guys, and I'm going to call it an end there. And we will speak to you guys soon. Brilliant having you on here. Obviously, I'm sure you guys have all subscribed and stuff.
I started waving, but he just carried on talking. Do you know, when we go and see his mum, we say goodbye, and it takes half hour to leave.
I know, it's like 1 minute up only. See you guys soon. Bye.
Bye. See you soon. Bye.